Hey Gina, it's Darren again. It's been a while since I've sent you a video message. My normal thing that I use to take videos doesn't really work anymore, so I had to find a friend's laptop, and so I finally got one. And I was able to use it real quick, so I'll give you another video response. So yeah, I just wanted to say that I really think the best thing for someone with DPDR, and I mentioned it in the last video that I gave you, is to have something to be passionate about. And I mean, that's like the key, something that gives your life some sort of meaning. Like you mentioned that you kind of sit alone in a room all day and you do nothing. Like that definitely will perpetuate, I think, your dissociative feelings. And and it can be anything, but try really hard to find something that inside you love to do. Like last year, I bought a drum set, and now I play in a band, and it's like the best thing I ever did. And I can play drums whenever I want, and it's always something. It's like a lifelong thing that I can fall back on and do, and always practice at, always get better at. And when I'm having those days where I'm really far gone, like you said, like there's a block in your head or you're in the bubble that you're talking about, I can at least go fall back on, drums or something that I love, something that I'm passionate about, and it kind of gets me out of my head a little bit. And I think that's the key. You gotta try to get out of your head, and you gotta try to not worry. Because I think the more you worry, the more it just ignites that feeling of, blankness, of not being here, of feeling very strange. And, what you actually, the best thing you can do is try to take the fear away completely from your depersonalization. And I know that's much easier said than done, but when you're having a really low time and you start thinking to yourself, I don't want this, I've had enough of this, I just want this to go away, this is horrible, it's only going to get stronger, it's only going to get worse. What you have to do is you have to accept it. You have to, no matter how bad it is, you have to say, come on, bring it on. Like, sometimes if it's really bad, I say to myself, like I'll taunt it, like I'll say, yeah, let's see if it can get worse. Let's see how bad it can get. Let's see how disconnected I can get. And it sounds crazy, but it helps so much because it takes away the fear aspect. I'm no longer scared of it. And when I'm no longer scared of it, it no longer has control. And to just be aware. Awareness is great because you can see it, like the difficulty, but it's not you. It's not who you are. You're aware of it. It loses its power when that happens. And it's kind of like the metaphor of water, like a slow stream of water falling and hitting a rock over and over again. When it first begins, there's no progress made, but with persistence, little by little, the rock dissolves. I know that sounds cliche, but I really think with DPDR you have to keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. And even if you don't think you're making any progress at all, you have to go out and do things. You have to do what you want to do in your life. You have to not look at life as a burden, but look at it as an opportunity to have a body and a mind and a world to interact with. And you have to go out and do whatever it is that inside clicks, resonates, makes sense to you. And just like the water hitting the rock, it's the same idea. If you keep trying, keep getting out there, being social and doing things, I think your mind will slowly start to feel like it did before DPDR. You'll start to feel more here. Things will start to feel more real. you'll be able to start thinking again like normal. It won't be so blank and foggy. But it takes a lot of time, and it takes the courage and ability to, when you're feeling really low, to get back up and keep on trying. Don't be scared of it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't let it take over. And I think with time you'll find it does get better. I still deal with it, but I've had days where I've been better than I was 2 years ago. And overall, I think I'm better than I was 2 years ago. And it's a process. You know, it's a process of accepting this is what we got. We're not who we were before we had it anymore. We are who we are now. And you got to look at yourself in the situation that you're in right now and ask yourself, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? And then you got to try to do whatever it is that makes the most sense. But I do know it's very hard. And I'm sorry that you have to go through it. I wouldn't want anybody to go through it. But there's a lot that can be learned from it. You can learn a lot of empathy from this. And it kind of gives you insight into a world of people who deal with mental difficulties, mental issues, depression, you know, schizophrenia. I mean, this isn't schizophrenia. I actually work with people with mental health. I'm a counselor for people who have mental illness. And you mentioned in a video you worry that it's the early grips of schizophrenia. It's not. I promise you it's not. It's people that have DPDR often have that thought that they are in the early grips of schizophrenia, but you're not at all. I can promise you that. Working with people with schizophrenia, until you start pacing around and constantly talking to yourself about strange things when you're alone, or worrying that there's cameras always following you, or aliens are watching you through your walls, or that the television is trying to tell you things, or that you can communicate with God, or that you're seeing or hearing voices that are telling you to do things, you're not in the early grips of schizophrenia. I can assure you, I promise you. I see these people that do live with schizophrenia, and it is nothing like DPDR. I promise you that. Absolutely. So don't worry about being schizophrenic or psychotic, because you're not. I promise. But yeah, I guess I'll end this video. I don't know if it was helpful, but it was a response. I hope this works out, and I'll talk to you again soon. Keep on going, Gina.